Right. A little bit behind schedule. Unfortunately, having some difficulty with one of my strap connections because okay, give me just a second. There we go. Give me just a second. Can you hear me okay? Okay. All right. I'm not able to get one of my straps connected. I've been fighting with it for a little longer than I wanted. So I may try to reconnect it later, but for right now, I think it's just head on over and I'll try to keep it stable.
Rare bird sighting, folks. Yes, we have a Verdin right here in the top of this Paulo Verdin. Gray body, and it's got a little rufous or rusty spot on his shoulder. Really good views of him right here in the light. Verdin, V-E-R-D-I-N. Usually quite vocal. They like to peep and chirp a lot. They're a common backyard bird. You might see them in your backyard if you live here in the Phoenix area. They're here year-round, desert dwellers. They make it through the heat. They build nests that they think that they might use just for shade. More than one nest a season, and they don't always use them to lay eggs. So we think either they're decoys for predators, like that. Hey, there's the nest. You can go investigate, nothing in there, or it's just a shade structure that they go in there and pull off in hot time of the day. We're not quite sure.
Hold on a second.
That rose color on their head, on their flanks, and maybe even on their behind. Kind of depends on their diet. Sometimes
So that was no, it wasn't a lovebird. Okay, I gotta figure out how to print. There we go. Okay, I've got chat enabled for both. Perfect. Oh. forgot to enable. There we go. There we go. Yep, I can see you on, I can see your chat on both. Fantastic. Wish you were here. You could have done this easily. I need to get this clip. That might work. Almost. Come on. I had no idea how difficult it would be. I'm gonna need some help. I need to find somebody who's... Let me see if there's somebody at the building here. Okay.
Hi there, how's it going?
Okay, I don't suppose I could ask one of you to help with a clip I have on this.
Sure.
It's on the back here. I've been trying to clip it together for a couple of minutes here. Yep, and then down on the bottom.
Oh, I see.
Thank you very much. Hard to do when it's just one person.
That's kind of a... Oh, nice.
So
okay.
I have folks that are watching both on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So this is an opportunity for folks to learn some stuff. I don't know if either of you would be interested in providing some more information, or...
You'll probably want to talk to Danny. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the center director here, and he has a lot to say.
Perfect.
So yeah, do you want me to direct you to him?
That'd be great.
Maybe running around and getting things all set up.
Okay. I'm also... Oh, that's perfect. There's the QR code. I went ahead and created one for people to scan on their screen, too.
Okay, awesome.
So, there we go.
Yes.
Morning.
However, you're live streaming, and I am right in the middle of setup. So can
No
you
problem.
come back and grab me in
Absolutely.
like an hour or so?
No problem at all.
I wanted him to, you guys to know who each other
Look for the
was.
bald guy.
Sounds good. My name's Kyle.
Kyle.
We're both...
Great hairstyle.
Yeah,
Love
thank
it.
you.
Love it. I usually have my mutton chops a little bit more in, but it's
No worries.
a little itchy last night.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit. All right. Little pond they have here at the Audubon. All right. Yeah. Okay, so heart rate monitor is not connecting for some reason. Let me check to see if I can figure out what's going on. Looks like everything is up and running. I'm going to go ahead and walk around a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got. Feels like YouTube is still working things out. Not the greatest for this kind of streaming. All right, well, let's see what we can see. do in a space like this.
Incorporate
That's something I was hoping for. Let's go for a little walk and test it out. Maybe I don't need a gimbal. Really glad that I'm able to see your chat both on YouTube and Twitch. That's pretty nice. Yeah, got some little birds here and there. So we have a mesquite with some brittle bush growing around the bottom. And this little bird, who's eating from the brittle bush flower. Yeah, good. Pear cactus with some older prickly pear. There we go. So it says that YouTube is being a bit jittery. So probably what I'll do is, ooh, who else do we have joining us today? So, yeah, those are the birds out in the wild throughout the Sonoran Desert. And it is in the same family as sunflowers. And if you happen to download the Seek app from the iNaturalist people, you should be able to find it in the list of different plants that are native to the Sonoran Desert. The Audubon Center here kind of the grounds a little bit more. Oh, here's some birds. One of the things that's really interesting is that as you go further south towards the southern end of the state of Arizona, hey there, good morning. Glad you could join us. I was saying that as you go further towards the southern end of the state of Arizona, there's actually quite a large number of different types of birds, and there's actually a pretty significant birding community down there. Altitude, but it's also the different flora that's in that area too. So you have like the Chiricahua Mountains, for example, and then you have the Sky Islands that are a little ways down there. Different habitats that are really and there's one that is kind of like a cardinal. It looks very similar. It has that gorgeous bright red to it, and it even has the crest like a cardinal would have. I can't remember the name of it. It's on these grounds here, if I were a little bit quieter, we might run across some quail too. There's a number of different spots here and there where I've seen some quails running. Spoken quite a bit here. Where would you like me to go? Do you want me to go straight? Do you want me this little trail off to this side? Kind of forms into a circle, and it looks like there's a little... What would you like to see? I'm gonna let you... Go right? Okay. All right. Let's go right. That we have here at the end of this path, and we were here this last week, and essentially what this is it is an interactive sundial installation. And so and then you stand on that month and it shows you what time of day it is. So in order to test that, it casts your shadow on the time listed by the numbers that are out here in the distance. So let's check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and step on February. And it says that the time is 9:30 on my phone. Let's see if that bans out with the shadow I'm casting. And there it is, right between 9 and 10. Perfectly at 9:30. So this is a pretty cool little install. The end of that pathway. Alright. I think that there were some kind of information that probably was on each one of those. Should I go right or should I go left? All right, left it is. All right. It's a little bit of... We're going quite a ways here. Okay, it looks like this is going to lead us out to a pathway that's right next to the Rio Salado. And so you can actually see the Rio Salado, and you can hike trails along as a matter of fact. Really good for birds is, you know, they have the immediate space of the Audubon Center, but then they have all of the trees that are out here, and you know, with the river itself, you know, that provides water, and you know, there's other animals that are in the area, of course, but you know, provides seeds and all sorts of trees for them to take cover in. So yeah, it's a nice little area. But we're gonna go ahead and head back. How are we doing so far? How far does the Rio Salado Trail go? That's a good question. You know, I am not certain. That is something I would have to look up and get back to you on. But yeah, interesting. I really don't know. You know, I know that I want to say there's part of it that connects with the Tres Rios wetlands that they created a few years ago as a wastewater management facility. It's really an amazing space if you've never seen it. Need to get over there. Maybe that'll be one of our next walks here is, yeah, I'm out of shape. that's another reason why I'm doing this, is to give me an excuse to become more active. So, yeah, the Tres Rios wetlands, to give you a little bit more information about that. So it's a wetlands where the city spent the money, rather than on a normal wastewater treatment plant, they went ahead and they used natural filtration from, and from what I understand, it was extremely cost effective. It was less wastewater treatment facility, and at the same time did an excellent job. You know, that's another place that's really interesting. There's obviously a lot of waterfowl that live in that space, and so yeah, it's a really neat little environment, and you can go and walk around there. So yeah, we have one of our park rangers that's giving some folks some information about the center here. All right, that's. You know, I don't know if there are pelicans there, but that would be an interesting sight. I know that you can see various other different waterfowl. Sometimes you'll see green herons. Those are really interesting little birds. And then, of course, different ducks and other critters like that. So yeah, that's a neat spot. Join me either virtually or in person for that. I'll have to figure out what date that we can do that walk. Yeah, in fact, the airport, if you look kind of this way, I'm going to point myself up towards the plane. Over in that direction there. You can see. There. So. And just to give you kind of an idea of where I'm located, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the map so you can see where we are. So you should be able to see the location here. It looks like I'm zoomed in a little more than I wanted to be, but yeah, so it's again on Central Avenue, just south of downtown Phoenix. So that's where we're at. And you can see right now it says that it's 53. Got the sun on me. That altitude is about accurate too, and you can see my heart rate. But yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the map for right now. There we go. Start heading back towards, and you're all a bunch. That's okay. Oh, okay. So 53. Which text are we looking at? Oh, okay. It may just be that I need to change, so that's fine. That's good to know, but I appreciate that. I'll look at some different font colors that might stand out a little bit better. Maybe something like a red might be better. So that's good to know. All right. Yeah, you know, I think I'd rather avoid snakes, but interestingly enough, apparently even though snakes are normally supposed to be dormant during the winter, outside is you can still see a snake, including rattlers. And in fact, it's been a couple of weeks, but I was on North Mountain, snake passed right in front. But you know, it was probably like a juvenile. It was probably a couple of feet long. So yeah. So this is kind of a neat little thing that's been created here. Yeah. So this is a little bit more of the wetland area. No, I think we'll probably not. So, all right. Interesting stuff. So it says, I don't know if you can read that or not, but if not, I can read it for you. It says, gaze north and notice the thriving green band of trees framing the cityscape. This view was quite different 15 years ago when the riverbed was a dry dumping ground. The successful revitalization of the Salt River in this area shows what is possible when I don't have planes flying overhead, drowning out everything else. Now, shows what is possible when people focus their attention on solving an environmental problem. Your daily actions can make a difference. Clean water and healthy habitats are gifts from neighbor to neighbor and from generation to generation. Pass them on. Yeah, not the same. Not the same. So here's another thing that's a little bit interesting is they've also gone ahead and there's a couple of different reasons for why that's happening. One of them is a few years that the temperatures in the summertime here, the issue is what the saguaros can handle at night. So the saguaro cactus needs a temperature of below 95 degrees at night. And they need that in order to basically breathe. And if the temperature may have hurt where, you know, even though they were seemingly healthy and that was the reason why, is that they were suffocating and dying because of the overnight temperatures. Temperatures above 95, that's my preference. I need to sleep. Is these couple of different little plants right here. There's the little red flowers here, that's called tuberosa, and that's another native plant here, and there's a few different spots where I can see them right here that has these beautiful red flowers, and the hummingbirds really like them. They're a neat little flower that they can get nectar from. So, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. We got the jokes. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, maybe I'm allergic to something out here. I didn't think so. Thank you. Rock thing on my left. Well, that is a good question. Let's take a look. It looks like the names of different animals that are in both English and maybe Spanish. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, there's a number of different. So that previous one that we were looking at earlier was actually from a troop, and they have the troop number listed down below in the very beginning of the installation. I really wish these planes would have a little bit more courtesy while I'm filming. No consideration. Anyway, there's a little bee buzzing around getting the nectar from the flowers, and the brittle or the chaparral creosote bush is what you smell whenever we have rain out here in the desert. You've got that really refreshing kind of musky on the chaparral. And so when they get that excess moisture, then the oils that are natural in the leaves will come out, and that's where you get that smell from. And if you ever wanted to know what it smells like without the rain, just to make sure you know what you're smelling, You can actually take a small little bit and very gently breathe on it and then smell, and you can smell it because it takes that moisture from your... So, yeah. All right. So where should we go now? There's a path again to the right. Left it is. Let's go left. Ooh, this is so again, a few others that are here in. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like these had placards in them at one time, but I guess they were removed for whatever reason. So there's that. Okay, so we're at another crossroads. Should I go? You're gonna lead me off a cliff, I know it. Okay. Left again. You know, if I turn left 4 times, then I will be making a circle. Alright, so we're now on the main pathway. Looks like a little Rio Salado. So if you wanted to bring a bike out here, like a mountain bike or even a regular street bicycle, then you could probably ride it on this little spot here right alongside the Rio. All right. So let's see, it is 9:51, so I'm going to start heading back towards the main facility, and let's see if I can do a little bit of a brief interview. The event here, and the goal for this, because I think that, yep. So I don't know that I want to go to the bridge thingy. That's quite a distance, actually. That's quite a ways out there. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna start heading back because it's getting almost to 10 o'clock. And you know, the other thing that I was thinking is that I can go ahead and put up a poll, and you know, I can provide a list of different locations that we can stream from, and I can put the poll out and see, you know, from you viewing at home where you'd like me to go next. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a little bit of an interview, and then that will be an opportunity. Yeah. But yeah, it is actually a beautiful day. Really nice temperature. So, yeah. And yeah, my concern with places that have, and especially if they're on video, I don't know what they might do. Now, there's certain folks who probably be okay, but I don't know if I want to go into like a general area near a grocery store or whatever. I know there's a lot of people that do that though, but I also want to do this a little differently. I want to be out in places, so some unique locations. Well, yeah, I would agree. I would absolutely agree with you, Tom. So, a neat little dream thing going through this spot. That's super cool. Look at that, with a little bridge. This is a neat little thing. I'm going to try to cross the bridge, and hopefully it's strong enough to support me. I guess we'll find out. Oh yeah. Very cool. And there's a little sitting area. Nice. Alright. Alright. Well, let's make our way back. Yeah, this is a neat little spot here where there's the water flowing out from this source, and then it swerves around this whole area. Very pretty, very peaceful. All right. So. Let's see if we can find the gentleman from earlier. I think I've spotted him. A few seconds to chat. And if I wasn't... yeah, so if you recall that big wetland area, that seems to be what that water feature was feeding into. All right, he's taking some pictures. So I'm just waiting here for a moment. Maybe I'll chat with some of the folks that are here.
This is Rio Phoenix. It's part of a policy plan that is building upon other ones that the city has done, called Beyond the Banks Plan, as also supporting the Habitat Restoration Project, which helped create this area of the Rio Salado.
Okay.
So what we're doing here at the planning department is called Rio Phoenix, and so it's a planning initiative of 3 to 4 phases, depending on how we break it out. This area is the first phase here that you can see, a slightly larger map. It goes from 19th Avenue out to 32nd Street, nice. And then from Broadway Road up to I-17.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that is part of a bigger regional plan called Rio Reimagine that ASU is helped leading with other partners. It covers our part in this greater planning effort. And so this first area, we've held 2 workshop events so far for this planning effort, and we'll be having a third one soon. And so we'll bundle all of that information, all of the data that we've collected, both from the community and from resources like the U.S. Census, Community Survey, and other resources studying like heat, other health outcomes, all kinds of information.
Nice.
So we're going to package that all up into a policy plan with actionable goals that can actually be measured, because that's part of the challenge in planning, is that sometimes we make these great visions and goals, but don't necessarily have a way to measure. So that's why we created this existing conditions report, which is on our website, which is just phoenix.gov/Rio Phoenix, or it might be planning/Rio Phoenix. Either way, if you Google it, you'll find it.
Okay.
And so, hopefully, by the end of this year, that policy plan will be adopted by council. We'll get some more grant funding for our other areas, and then we just continue on to plan this area in red.
Okay.
Some other projects that are going on right now is MAG is doing a plan this entire area to try and get the Salt River, or Rio Salado, to be not just it's kind of challenged history of being mining and dumping. So we're really trying to make this a community asset, not just for the people who live in the valley, but also an ecotourism effort to actually make this something that people can come and see. A big thing right now that the city has is called the Resource Innovation Center, which is part of a large kind of competition called C40.
Okay.
I won't go into that because that's a lot. That's more nuance and minutia that you don't need to know.
Okay.
But that is about circular economies,
Oh,
and
nice.
that'll just be on the just east of 9th, and it's about labs and studying how do we turn the waste that comes from the city into material that well, it's circular. Like the waste that we create can go back into the economy in some way.
Okay.
So, a lot of really cool stuff that we're doing here at the city.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. It's my job.
Yeah, it sounds like amazing work that you guys are doing, and so funny that this is something that ASU is also working on too. And I say funny because I'm this is just my own personal project, but I actually work at ASU. But it's such a huge.
The whole history behind this is back in one of his big, I guess, dreams was to have Rio Salado be restored. So all of that kicked off in 2018 with ASU, with President Crow, and all that kind of stuff, all of these regional partners. So this has been in the works for quite a while. Obviously, the pandemic kind of delayed things.
Right.
But here we are.
No, this is great. I love the whole idea behind it. Question that I have, I don't know if you're able to answer this, but in all of the planning and going through this, have any of the tribal communities also been consulted?
So yes, me and my coworker and supervisor, that's the City of Phoenix team, but our consultant that has been working with us from the studio, who's been running our workshops and preparing some of this material with feedback from the community that lives in this area.
Okay.
That part, the public engagement part, is funded by GRIC.
Oh yeah.
Which work with them. I mean, it's literally their grant. So,
Okay. That's great.
Yes, and so I mean, for our part, for like the land management groups, protectors of the rivers, river protectors, something.
That's okay.
I can't think of their group name off the top of my head, but when we have events out here, particularly there's a side of setting turned into a park and activity center of sorts where things can be hosted.
Okay.
And when we're out there, there's tribal representation. Whenever there's kind of a more formal event, there is the land acknowledgement statement about how we are on,
Like Tohono O'odham, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'm curious, does anybody have any questions that you would like to ask?
Oh yes, let chat speak.
That's great. So this is a regular thing that I'm doing. I'm Horizons IRL or Horizons Land and Sea on YouTube.
Okay.
So Twitch and YouTube for now.
Nice.
Yeah. So anybody in the chat want to ask a question? Not seeing anything so far, but all right. Well, thanks so much. Love the work you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Morning. Good. How are you?
Excellent. Park ranger here at Rio Salado. To literally be a dump.
Gosh.
150 to help you think about how long it takes things to decompose naturally.
Oh yeah.
Kind of the effects that some of our trash has, especially not to litter too.
Right.
So if you want to play and learn.
Fantastic. All right. So this ongoing process, and just talked with Chris a few moments ago about the continuing work that they're doing to revitalize, and I've lived here since the how severe it was.
It's down too, because when it rains, that's where the water goes, is to the river. So,
Right.
some of those outflows, it's just like a polar pop cup city. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and if I remember correctly, that also connects with the Tres Rios wetlands, right? And so, in a way of like reducing the amount of impact in the facility. So really
super fun sites too. So clean up some of these super fun sites, kind of slowly rehabilitate the
this area that's just kind of been destroyed.
What you're doing here, and yeah, I mean, we were just talking a little bit about, like the social benefits of this kind of work too, and just public that they belong to all of us essentially, and being able to take care of them and thinking about things that we want to protect and care for this space because of its unique kind of. No, this is really cool. Really like anything like this that gets people thinking a little bit more about their own daily habits.
Yeah.
My name is Kyle.
I'm Jared.
Good to meet you. So.
And if you're interested with volunteering with us, the Phoenix Park Steward.
Okay.
And we've got events all the time here and all the mountain reserves here in Phoenix.
Fantastic. And now I know that you guys also coordinate with volunteer organizations too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sustainability Alliance we work with. It's the more the merrier around here.
To get into their volunteer work too. So going to be joining them. I think work, but and that's the other thing too, is that part of these channels is not only to inform but also to get people involved. So learning about like how can you volunteer some of your time to do this kind of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Jared. Thanks.
That's 1 or 2 days that I don't got to
bring it back into
Morning.
school again.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's a major piece. That nutrition piece.
Oh my God, we live our whole life and we don't know how to cook.
Or
we don't know what the nutrition is.
And all the different parts of it, because it affects our mental health, it affects our physical health, it affects all different aspects of our life with this foundation.
Good morning.
Hi.
Is it all right if I record? You're doing a live stream?
It changed my life.
Great.
We're doing presentations on different migratory birds and the habitats and adaptations that they use to survive.
Okay.
We have a couple reproduction skulls here. These are cast. They're about 20 years old.
Okay.
And I brought this ball that I cleaned for a museum.
Wow.
So these are all...
So, a gentleman that I know, he actually does wildlife photography. And I guess one of the questions that I have is, we do have, you would think that are more migratory, but it seems like they just stay in our area regardless any time of year. Is that just because of the climate change, or
mainly because they're getting enough food? In Arizona are not actually migratory species. Flammulated owls, turkey vultures, they all go south for the winter. So the turkey vultures, they're all down in South America right now, and then you'll start seeing them again and calming back up. The flammulated owls, they'll start coming up too. All the elf owls are here for the winter,
okay,
and then they're going to start going south. They like to breed in being in Saguaro National Park and riparian areas that are south of here. They could care less for urban environments, but they will if they have to. Sure. And then certain birds, like great horned owls, they're already having babies. They've laid eggs. They're starting to breed. Hummingbirds are at it as well. They're already having babies. And Arizona has the longest nesting season of any state in the U.S. It runs roughly from early February all the way through September.
Okay. Nice.
So a lot of the bald eagles here, they nest a lot earlier than the ones that are up in the northern areas.
Okay.
Those will sometimes nest early, but it's usually still too cold. But here, it doesn't really get cold, so the ones around the valley, Lake Pleasant, Canyon.
Knowledge here, and if people wanted to learn a little bit more about just the birds in the greater Southwest, I suppose, but certainly in Arizona, would they be able to go to like the Audubon website or like a particular?
You can go to the Audubon website. Arizona Game and Fish has a lot of really useful articles on different birds that are in the area. You can also try checking out U.S. Fish and Wildlife as they migratory birds. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate the information.
You're welcome.
My name is Kyle, by the way. Good to meet you. Sorry. think we might be ending the broadcast here in a few minutes. But in any case, see if we can.
All right, everyone. Gather round at the Ramada down on the east side of the building. Liberty Wildlife is going to be having a live animal help protect wildlife here in Phoenix. So start making food, grab a coffee, feel free to do that, but start making your way down to the Ramada, grab a seat at one of the picnic tables, or just set up somewhere shady around the Ramada area for our live animal show with Liberty Wildlife.
Yeah, he might be just a little too busy planning and keeping things organized, but that's okay.
And we'll just start whenever you say.
Yeah, we'll say like 5 minutes. I'll try to get people down there and go.
Beautiful.
We're gonna like stand on this. Let me give you one last sun and I'll join you there.
It's all right if I record?
Yeah, we're gonna present just a little bit. I'm just trying to calm him down. There's a lot of people.
Right.
And he loves the sun.
Ah, yeah. Beautiful.
So are we supposed to set up there?
Yeah, while we're presenting, are you okay if we just do our presentation with 4 birds?
Yeah.
And you do it later? Yeah, so feel free to move the tables however you want.
Wow.
So we're supposed to take this table?
Yeah, this is all our, you can move, yeah, whatever you want.
We can just move the boxes.
Yeah.
We'll just take this whole area.
So if you're still watching, then we're going to get a little bit of a presentation with the birds.
That's the way his eyes are. Yeah. Is that a barn owl? No, it's a great horn. Great horn owl. I have to see an owl in the wild.
Beautiful.
They're tough, but
I know.
partly you just have to be lucky.
That's so cool.
Partly you just have to be lucky.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, live animal show is starting right now under the Ramada. So head on down to the east side of the building, find a seat, grab your coffee, and we're going to get started in a minute here.
Jim? Jim?
We're at Liberty Wildlife. There's a whole lot of us. For this presentation, it's going to be myself, Chris, and my friend Kristen will present completely different.